Conversations in the country right now. It actually is a trending topic. University students expelled for what the institution believes qualifies as insulting the Akwa Ibom State governor. Now, students expelled by Akwa Ibom State University, Akpaden, has given the university authorities 7 days to restore his studentship or face legal actions. The student, Iniobong Ekpo, was in his final year at the Department of Agricultural Engineering when he was expelled for publishing what the school termed derogatory and defamatory article in 2019 on Facebook against the Akwa Ibom State Governor, Udom Emmanuel. He was first suspended indefinitely from studies before his expulsion 2 months ago. Iniobong, through his lawyer, Inibehe Efyong, I hope I pronounced that correctly, sent a pre-action notice to the Vice Chancellor of the institution, Professor Nse Essien, dated June 18, 2021, seeking his immediate and unconditional reinstatement, among other demands. The notice read in part, "At no time did Akwa Ibom State University invite or summon our clients to appear before the University Students' Disciplinary Committee prior to his indefinite suspension. Our client was not shown, confronted, or availed with the purported abusive post. It is apparent that the university acted in contravention of Section 36 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999. Well, there's a whole lot attached to this story, but to hear directly from source, we have Iniobong Ekpo, who is the expelled student, joining us via phone. Hello, Iniobong. Thanks for joining us.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you for making the time. How are you doing?
I'm very good. Sanity intact.
Okay, that's nice to know. So, 1 hour would not be enough. We don't even have the entire hour. But let's hear from your side. And I've tried to reach out to your school, just as well as other news sources have tried. But well, let's just say we're still trying. Take us through your expulsion journey. When did your school first reach out to you to let you know there was a problem?
My school, first of all, reached out to me. They didn't even reach out to me. That's the first correction I want to make.
Okay.
The school didn't reach out to me. 2 days after the resumption of studies, 25th September, my younger sister called me from Lagos while I was in Uyo, and she told me a postman brought a letter to the house. When they opened it, they saw indefinite suspension.
Okay.
Claiming I refused to honor an invitation letter. So because I refused to honor an invitation letter, I was suspended.
All right.
Now, I got the letter, went to school. Although school had not fully resumed, the secretary is there, so said she has not seen any letter of such. I went to the Dean of Student Affairs Complex. The lady I met there said the Dean wasn't on set. I called my colleagues to ask them if they ever saw any notice that I was needed in the school, and they answered in the negative. Okay? So I went back home, came back on the 28th, just 2 days before my exam, to find out if this indefinite suspension is actually true. And when I got to my department, I got the original copy of the indefinite suspension letter that says I was being suspended indefinitely because I refused to appear before the Student Disciplinary Committee. And when I asked my department for the so-said invitation letter, they told me there was no invitation letter. Are you there with me?
I'm listening.
Now, I'm in my final year. Before now, I have seen cases. Where students leave the school unjustly, but I kept mute. So when my department told me there was no invitation letter, I wrote a new letter to the new Vice Chancellor, explaining to him that I didn't get any invitation letter. I was at home, obeying the COVID-19 rule, everyone stay back at home. This was in the month of September, 28th September to be precise. And my HOD minuted on it that there was no invitation letter. He minuted on it. I started writing my exams 2 days after. September passed, October passed. In the month of November, I started having strange feelings. So I told a friend of mine, upload this story November 15, which he did on a Sunday. The next day, which was November 16, I went to school and I saw a second invitation letter by the Student Disciplinary Committee on a case under investigation. Please note, this second invitation letter is coming a day after the story went viral on social media, on Facebook. 49 days since I wrote a letter to the new Vice Chancellor, explaining to him that I didn't get any invitation letter. Trust me, as a smart student, I finally appeared before them at their second invitation without seeing the first invitation letter. I greeted them, and when I asked them for a copy of the first invitation letter with my signature, original copy received by me, let the date not be during COVID-19, and the venue should not be school, because NDC said everybody stay back at home. My brother, they pushed me out. They told me to get out. Now, who am I to ask for the first invitation letter? They asked for my department. I said agricultural engineering. Asked for my level. I told them final year. I was told to get out. I didn't say a word after that. That was November. December passed. Now,
right.
in the month of January...
Hold on, Iniobong. For the purpose of record, they, in this context, applies to what body, what committee?
Sorry?
You said they pushed you out, they asked you, how dare you ask for the first letter. They, in this context, what committee, what body? So we have a record.
The Student Disciplinary Committee told me to get out.
Okay. Go ahead.
Now, in the month of January, my course rep and my departmental president called me to tell me my face has been pasted at the school gate. This time around, indefinite suspension for case of gross misconduct, even after I've appeared before them.
Okay. Okay. Well, as you can tell, I would have to reconnect with him, because we have to get the full picture. But well, if you do not know what's going on, the story is, well, let me say everywhere. University expels students for insulting Akwa Ibom governor. That's how it's reported on the Premium Times, and other news sources have carried it. Now, that student is whose voice you just heard. His name is Iniobong Ekpo, and his lawyer also reached out to him. They're asking the school to reinstate, to take him back, and well, there's a 20 million that's been demanded. So I'm going to try to call him back, so we basically get the full picture. I'm going to
A clean surrounding is a collective effort.
Diseases could be avoided
with good hygiene practice. Be more responsible with how you dispose waste products. The environment will be better looking without litter and exposed garbage. We love our city clean. This message is from 92.3 Nigeria Info.
92.3 Nigeria Info welcomes all comments that are constructive and contribute to discussions in a meaningful manner. However, we will not condone the following on air or online: racism, including offensive comments based on ethnicity and nationality, sexism, religious intolerance, hate speech, derogatory language, and comments inciting violence. We ask that your comments remain relevant to topics raised and that you avoid general banter or conversation as it dilutes the discussion. We strive to make the station a safe and welcoming platform for all. Nigeria Info reserves the right to and calls or remove any comments that do not follow the above guidelines. Ban users who repeatedly infringe on the rules. Should you find any contributions on air or comments online upsetting or offensive, you can also flag them and we will assess it against our guidelines. Please send an email to info@nigeriainfo.fm. Nigeria Info is constantly reviewing its policies in order to create an environment conducive to constructive conversation. Thanks for your cooperation.
The European club football season is over, but football never sleeps. Enter the UEFA European Football Championship. The pandemic could only delay, but never deny the fans the excitement they crave as the Euros take center stage. It's Euro 2020 in 2021, with scenes all over the European continent, traversing state lines and capitals, from Rome to Baku, St. Petersburg, Amsterdam, Bucharest, Glasgow, Copenhagen, Seville, Munich, and London. The coverage is global and the cast nationwide, covering every on Nigeria's #1 radio station for sports and talk info. Reach out for sponsorship and advertising. Euro 2020 with Femi and the gang on Nigeria Info. Live football, just the way you like it. The European club football season is over, but football never sleeps. Enter the UEFA European Football Championship. The pandemic could only delay, but never deny the excitement they crave as the Euros take center stage. It's Amsterdam, Bucharest, Glasgow, Copenhagen, Seville, Munich, and London. The coverage is global and the cast nationwide, covering every blade of grass on Nigeria's #1 radio station for sports and talk, Nigeria Info. Reach out for sponsorship and advertising. Euro 2020 with Femi and the gang on Nigeria Info. Live football, just the way you like it. The European club football season is over, but football never sleeps. Enter the UEFA European Football Championship. The pandemic could only delay, but never deny the fans the excitement they crave as the Euros take center stage. It's Euro 2020 in 2021, with scenes all over the European continent, traversing state lines and capitals, from Rome to Baku, St. Petersburg, Amsterdam, Bucharest, Glasgow, Copenhagen, Seville, Munich, and London. The coverage is global and the cast nationwide, covering every blade of grass on Nigeria's #1 radio station for sports and talk, Nigeria Info. Reach out for sponsorship and advertising. Euro 2020 with Femi and the gang on Nigeria Info. Live football, just the way you like it. The European club football season is over, but football never sleeps. Enter the UEFA European Football Championship. The pandemic could only delay, but never deny the fans the excitement they crave as the Euros take center stage. It's Euro 2020 in 2021, with scenes all over the European continent, traversing state lines and capitals, from Rome to Baku, St. Petersburg, Amsterdam, Bucharest, Glasgow, Copenhagen, Seville, Munich, and London. The coverage is global and the cast nationwide, covering every blade of grass on Nigeria's #1 radio station for sports and talk, Nigeria Info. Reach out for sponsorship and advertising. Euro 2020 with Femi and the gang on Nigeria Info. Live football, just the way you like it. The European club football season is over, but football never sleeps. Enter the UEFA European Football Championship. The pandemic could only delay, but never deny the fans the excitement they crave as the Euros take center stage. It's Euro 2020 in 2021, with scenes all over the European continent, traversing state lines and capitals, from Rome to Baku, St. Petersburg, Amsterdam, Bucharest, Glasgow, Copenhagen, Seville, Munich, and London. The coverage is global and the cast nationwide, covering every blade of grass on Nigeria's #1 radio station for sports and talk, Nigeria Info. Reach out for sponsorship and advertising. Euro 2020 with Femi and the gang on Nigeria Info. Live football, just the way you like it. The European club football season is over, but football never sleeps. Enter the UEFA European Football Championship. The pandemic could only delay, but never deny the fans the excitement they crave as the Euros take center stage. It's Euro 2020 in 2021, with scenes all over the European continent, traversing state lines and capitals, from Rome to Baku, St. Petersburg, Amsterdam, Bucharest, Glasgow, Copenhagen, Seville, Munich, and London. The coverage is global and the cast nationwide, covering every blade of grass on Nigeria's #1 radio station for sports and talk, Nigeria Info. Reach out for sponsorship and advertising. Euro 2020 with Femi and the gang on Nigeria Info. Live football, just the way you like it. The European club football season is over, but football never sleeps. Enter the UEFA European Football Championship. The pandemic could only delay, but never deny the fans the excitement they crave as the Euros take center stage. It's Euro 2020 in 2021, with scenes all over the European continent, traversing state lines and capitals, from Rome to Baku, St. Petersburg, Amsterdam, Bucharest, Glasgow, Copenhagen, Seville, Munich, and London. The coverage is global, and the cast nationwide, covering every blade of grass on Nigeria's #1 radio station for sports and talk, Nigeria Info. Reach out for sponsorship and advertising. Euro 2020 with Femi and the gang on Nigeria Info. Live football, just the way you like it.
Headline News, Nigeria Info on
92.3.
Headline News.
I'm Sam Chinedu, and here are the headlines. Gunmen shoot suspected naval officer around cornerstone axis of Rumokuta Market Road in Port Hackett Metropolis. Court sentences former federal lawmaker Farouk Lawan to 7 years in prison for bribery. National Assembly flooded as Senate resumes plenary. Senate confirms Yaya as Chief of Army Staff. Several vehicles burnt as tanker explode on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Minister of Information Lai Mohammed to lead team to engage with Twitter over recent suspension. On the foreign scene, police in Canada treat fires which destroyed 2 Catholic churches as suspicious. Mouse plague in Australia forced jail to relocate thousands of inmates. In business, Bitcoin falls underneath $30,000 for first time in 5 months. In entertainment, Chris Brown under police investigation over allegation of battery. In sports, UEFA declines request to light up Munich's Allianz Arena in rainbow colors for tomorrow's Euro 2020 match between Germany and Hungary. Contact our newsroom on 0818 900 0017. The major news comes up at 6. Welcome back to Hard Facts 92.3 Nigeria Info. I have Iniobong back on the phone. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, I can hear you.
All right, thank you for rejoining us. Now, you were telling me about how you eventually discovered you were expelled by... Oh, that's not good. I do not know what the problem is. Okay, well, it's difficult to really... Okay, I'm going to try to reconnect again, but I really believe at this point something is not right. Anyways, what we have so far is the student being expelled by the Akwa Ibom State University, and he's giving the authorities a couple of days to restore his studentship. Now, I was going to ask a couple of questions because they claim that this was because of a post he made on Facebook, and this post is from 2019. I also have that post here, which I'll be reading shortly to, get his own side. Now, I tried reaching out to the school. First of all, the guys in print, a couple of newspapers, had claimed that they tried to reach the school, and at that time they were not able to. Now, I did that as well. I got through to what I would say is the school authority, an official number. I'm trying to, reach out to you guys, blah, blah, blah. They said, oh, well, you have to talk to the registrar for that. I'm like, okay, fine. I'd like that to happen. And shockingly, what I got was, well, I'm sorry, I cannot give you the registrar's number at this time. I'm like, okay, when would his number be given? said, no, I'm not allowed to give his personal number. Now, naturally, you would see all the major problems with that. The registrar, who's a public officer in a particular position, and is supposed to be, well, let's say accessible, is not reachable. So, it's one of many problems, as you can imagine. That's what's holding everybody from really getting the side of the school. But again, as I said, because I have till 5:45, you know, we really need to get the entire story. But 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. Now, all we have are claims from both sides. The school claims that the young man insulted the Akwa Ibom state governor, and the student, of course, claims he's innocent. Now, I read the post, which they claim is the reason for all of this. All right, let's hope the phone lines behave this time. Hello?
Don't you think someone is cutting the signal?
I wonder who that someone is. So very quickly, let's continue before that someone gets us again.
Okay.
Okay, so you saw your photo on the school gates pasted.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I saw my picture at the school gate.
Yeah?
And they didn't give me a letter that says after I've appeared before them, they found me guilty. And if they've given me such a letter, then what they pasted at the school gate is correct. But
Okay.
if they just pasted that at the school gate without giving me a letter that says after I've appeared before them, it is totally wrong. Are
Okay.
you there?
Yes, I'm listening.
Now,
All right, so...
February 1st,
yeah.
February 1st, I called my admin officer to tell him happy new month. And he said, Iniobong, thank you for calling. That the committee brought a letter for me to appear before them February 2nd.
Okay.
I rushed down to school February 2nd. I got the invitation letter. And when I appeared before the panel, when I got to where the panel was supposed to meet, they attended to other students that came before me. When it got to my turn, the secretary of the student disciplinary committee came out and said that the chairman, the same man that said I should get out at the second invitation.
Oh. Okay, at this point, this really is not normal. Okay. Well, I'm not going anywhere. Let's see what my phone can do. Well, we have what I should believe is a picture. Yes, so we're using my mobile now.
Okay.
Hopefully the evil spirits don't catch us here. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, stop, please.
Well, the same man who sent you out, you eventually encountered the
sent
man.
me out.
Yeah?
The same man, the same chairman of the student disciplinary committee, told the secretary of the student disciplinary committee that is responsible for the dissemination of the invitation letter. He told him to tell me I was not supposed to be invited. It was a mistake invitation.
Okay.
And that happens to be their third invitation letter. I've gotten a second, I've gotten a third.
You didn't
But
get a
my
first.
HOD that ministered that there was no first invitation letter left sick. So this my new HOD has a second and a third invitation letter. Since they told me I was not supposed to be invited, I started going to my classes because they couldn't prove, they don't have evidence of the first letter that will make their indefinite suspension firm. You get where I'm coming from?
Yes, I do.
Before you know, they used the Nigerian police to stop me. After about 1 month of attending class.
Okay, now Iniobong, let's look at what they have provided, because I have a copy of, you know, the expulsion notice, expulsion for gross
sir.
misconduct. It's on the internet, so everybody has it. It's from the office of the registrar.
Yes.
Now, first of all, did you read your student information handbook?
I read my information handbook.
Okay.
That abusive and university lecturer, students, all that stuff in this one social media. It's punishable. The relationship between the governor and the school is only on visitation.
Okay.
That is an abusive post.
I didn't quite get that. Now, what I'm trying to highlight, and I'm really hoping this clears up, is the paragraph that handles what your offense is on that notice says the act constitutes a breach of the matriculation oath and violation of the university rules and regulations enshrined in the student's information handbook. So they're saying that you violated something. And
according to them.
hello, go ahead.
To them, sir.
Yes, it is according to them, but it will also
According
be
to them.
it'd also be nice to know if that is in your information handbook, because well, we
Sir,
can't get
it's not
that.
in the school handbook. Let me bring it out. The school handbook says if you drop the post like abusive against the university, lecturers, staff, other staff, agents, fellow students in print or social media, it's punishable.
Okay.
The governor is a visitor to the school. The word visitor is not in that column.
Okay. So Iniobong, let's look at the post, because the article from 2019, which the link was up on Premium Times, that's where I first saw this. It's something you wrote in 2019, and the title is Udom with the Whiskey Tongue. Do you remember you writing that?
I wrote an article like that, yeah.
Okay. And now you're talking about people who graduated from your school. They were promised some monies from the state government. They never got it. And then there was another set of people who were also supposed to graduate. Did the school in any way direct you to this post stating that this was the reason why you were suspended and eventually expelled?
They didn't bring out any post before me. They didn't bring out, okay, they point out this in the post. They didn't point out this in the post. The only reason I assume it's that same post is because they mentioned a particular word that I know that, yes, somebody once used it in 2019.
Okay.
And I said, I lose my studentship.
Okay.
Contracting with that word said it was going to destroy my studentship. And this person is my student of UNIU.
All right. Well, at this point, everything has been, I don't know, it's just, there's a craziness with this. I think that I'll just have to take calls now because, well, for some reason, we just can't have this call. It's not clear enough. What we know is that the Akwa Ibom State University has expelled this particular student because they believe that he insulted the governor. Now, I read the post. It's dated 9 November 2019. It is titled Udom with the Whiskey Tongue. I wish I could read all of it, you know. Anyways, let me take just a part of it. May 17, 2017, I'm quoting now. This is what the student said. The second and third convocation took place that attracted men from different walks of life, parents, village heads, scholars, and most importantly, the governor, where he promised to give graduates double of the amount given by the school and also give jobs for first-class graduates. Each graduate that was given 50K by the school received 100K. Anyways, moving on, he says, now they got to another convocation and the first students who were promised monies were not given. So the state government did not fulfill its promise and it promised another 10 million. So it was basically ranting. Now the part which I believe is troubling, and whether or not you like it, I'm sure that's why we are here where we are, even though the school did not say what post in particular, but this is the only one that points in that direction. This is what the students said. The questions are endless. Every graduate is expecting something positive. We just hope Deacon Udom Gabriel Emmanuel is not using the same tongue Wizkid used to sing Totorimi 2 times. Toto. Let's use our brains. If you pick the first letter Udom, U, and add Toto, it's called Utoto, which means scam in a BBO. Now that's the line which I believe is considered insulting. But hey, it's just a case of adding 1 to 1 to make 2. But right now, this student has been expelled by the school, and it is believed it's because he insulted the governor of the state. What say you about this? I wish we had a longer conversation. Hello, good afternoon. Good evening, rather.
Hello, good evening, Chinedu.
Good evening.
Yeah, Chinedu, I think and I tend to believe that university governing body or the VC and the rest of them have started learning from the federal government.
Wow.
Yeah, because from the dancing to their tune, expelling this young man, You can see it physically. Anybody that hears it, it is visible to the blind. What are we saying? We are saying social media. We are also saying criticism. And when you're talking of criticism, what the guy has read, when and anytime it's being checked, or facts are that he had done that once, twice, and third time, do we see that as anything wrong, or anybody to say that the governor has done this the first time, did the second thing, and at the end of the day, liking this to a musician's song? I don't think we learn some certain things from the Americans. We learn some things from Europe. But when it comes to some critical aspects, we try as much as possible to meander anyhow and do anyhow at the end of the day. Please, this young man should be brought back. And if you listen to him, he's a very sound boy. He's a teacher man or student who has what it takes to bring on the table of students or anybody in the country. Please, we should all forget what he has said. There is a saying that says that when you beat a child with the right hand, you bring him with the left hand. I think it's a good thing that at the end of the day, he has accepted a little bit and apologized. Please, let the government do something to forgive that same man. Thank you very much.
All right, I get what you're saying, but when you stand in a position of please, it's, I don't know, if we're looking at things as they should be, based on the rights of the students, they shouldn't even happen. That's our job, to obviously report the news and state things as they are. And so based on what we know, even though the school has not spoken yet, it's difficult to come to a conclusion of right or wrong, but nobody should be begging here. And so I'm glad he has taken the legal option. I'm going to try to reach out to his lawyer. Maybe I can interview him or have a longer interview with the student himself. But we have a guest who we need to have all the conversations with. And, well, other things happen on Hard Facts. Don't go anywhere.